All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the European, the LEC edition to the Support Esports podcast. I'm your host, William, as always. I have with me again Brock,
Hello.
and as well, we have Brian with us again
Hello. Why was I introduced second this time?
because you are the second guest now. Because you're only on for 2 podcasts instead of 5, because you're not insane like me and Brock.
Replaced.
So this is our European version, and since we have 3 people, we're going to jump right in, and we're going to start, like always, with our preseason predictions for this year. Though I do want to start this one a little different than before. I want to start at the bottom. Usually we start at the top, but let's start at the bottom so we can, because we have some differences finally. It's not just me and Brock picking the same thing all the time.
Took long enough.
As I say differences, though, we have number 10. We all have Excel Esports on the bottom. I think, if as well as you guys, I'm assuming that Excel really struggled at getting like well-known players, and they're trying to build a brand off of like new talent type deal, which has worked with Griffin, and we're seeing with Damwon in LCK. But really, Kazing is their only like big name player, I'd say, and I don't think you can win with only one big name player if he's your support.
I won't completely agree because hold on, I'm going to their page right now. I know Cadrill's new. I think he's pretty good.
Expect.
Has been around.
Oh,
Expect was on Fnatic and
I-
Origin in G2.
I just saw Expect is on. I totally forgot about Expect.
Yeah. Also, I know Exile. He was on back when they were actually good, and SK. So,
Okay.
but
do-
they're like
They're
they
not-
were good. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
they're
not.
not as good anymore.
It's not a shining roster.
No, definitely not. And I don't know who the heck their AD is.
Oh,
So
He came from like one of the promo teams.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
There you go. It could work though. I mean, we could be wrong. They could be fighting for a playoff spot, perchance. But I would definitely, if anything, they'd be fighting for a lower seed. They would not be.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Older.
They don't have.
Just
the,
don't know anything about him.
They don't have
Yep.
the talent to hang with the others.
Yep.
Number 9. You
Oh,
guys.
wait. I do want to add something that I heard about Excel. Another reason why I don't think they're going to do good, and I'm stealing this straight from Euphoria, is they are based in London, and they're flying every single week
Oh.
to Germany to play.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and they also don't have their facilities set up yet. So
That
the
sounds
practice,
like
the practice starts later. So I think they're going to be very bad.
that sounds like a recipe for success if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that was completely
God.
podcast jacked from the official Riot
Hey,
EU podcast.
that's
But
fine.
hey,
That's fine. You cited your sources. That's
I did.
important. For teams number 8 and 9, I'll combine them because I have Rogue number 8 and SK Gaming number 9. You guys have SK 8 and Rogue number 9. I don't really see that big of a difference between these two teams. Kind of similar, but I feel like Rogue has Wadid from G2 last year, and they have Prophet and Kikis.
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 You messed up everyone's name.
Did I? What did?
Tossing
got-
that out.
They have Profit, Kikis, Sinkuk, AQ, and Wadded.
I'm very bad. As you can tell, if you watch the LPL podcast, I cannot pronounce names. I've always
It's
had an
tough.
issue, especially French names for me in my entire life. Hockey has been the worst sport to follow because a lot of French players.
All the French Canadians.
Very hard for me to pronounce those names, so I apologize.
That's fine.
I'm just not going to say any names.
I think Rogue is going to be sneaky good. I think I put them down low.
At
kinda
number 9.
Yeah, I put them down low because they're a new team, and I
Mhm.
think SK has potentially a better team, and we'll talk about them in a second, I'm guessing. But
yeah. You can talk about them right now. We're talking about both of them.
yeah,
so-
okay, SK. I think Pyrian, I mean, he was on SKT. He can't be bad.
That's exactly how I feel.
A better Azir than Faker.
Exactly.
Let's not forget about that.
And then Werlib, I think he's good, and I don't know who Selfmade is really. And Crownshot I've heard is good, but he's another newer player. He's
See,
new on the scene.
I've heard of Self-Made. I've never heard of Crown Shot before until now.
I've seen Self-Made's highlights, and I think he's a monster.
Yeah. And Crown Shot just reminds me of Crown.
Yeah.
I always just think it's like Crown. And he changed his name, and he's a bot laner now.
Yeah. So that is Whirlybee, Selfimade, Pyrian, Crown Shoot.
I think I pronounced it Pyrian pretty much earlier today when I was talking to Brock. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's been with me my whole life. I've always had this problem.
Okay.
Anything you want to add, Brock, to those two? Like,
nah, y'all pretty much hit the nail on the head. But Self-Made and all them that y'all were talking about came from Mad Lions.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do remember that from Reddit.
Yep.
I remember a bunch of Mad Lion stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where we agree, pretty much, is the bottom, where we start breaking apart now, which is new.
That's good.
Numbers, yeah, it's good. It's great. Me and Brock are not in sync anymore, and you're all different too.
I completely know that because I've watched all of the podcasts.
Yeah, of course.
Getting around to it.
Number 6 and 7, you guys, or me and Brock have Splice at 6. You have them at 7. I feel like if it's a difference of like 1 or 2 positions like that, we're kind of on the same page, you know, where we're thinking.
For the most part.
Yeah, where we're thinking they're a possible playoff team. Like there could be a playoff team, but they have work to do. They can't like slack off this and lose a couple games because they're not good enough to overcome the better teams.
I just think I have Splice at 7. I don't think they're bad at all. I think they have a good team. I just think the other 6 teams are better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much why you should put them under them.
It makes sense. I have 7. I have Origin, and I know Origin's highly regarded. I like Afari. I love Nuke Duck. I love Nuke Duck's name. I think it's one of the best names. It might be PTSD from last year. I really don't like Mithy. He might. I know how good he was in Europe before coming to NA, and It could be a sense. It's kind of hypocritical of me because of what I'm gonna say about Misfits and later on, but he could get better at EU, but I just don't think his shot calling is as good as it used to be. From some of the comms that we listened to last year on TSM, I feel like his shot calling was very questionable and one of the big reasons why they weren't very successful last year.
I think his shot calling is probably fine. He just didn't really gel with the team. Probably he just had Sven, and I think Sven was kind of slumping.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought Sven played okay.
I think TSM's problem also true. I don't think it was so much Mithy's shot calling. Mithy's shot calling was definitely not good, but TSM just played like shit, and it fell back onto shot calling because they needed someone to blame for it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but that's in a podcast. But that's what I think about Mithy. Was the shot calling wasn't bad, but it blew up a lot more because TSM needed someone to blame for it.
Yeah, and that's why I personally have him at number 7. I just think that, like, I still have that. Like, I could see him improving and getting back to form. It's just it's still fresh in my mind that I'm gonna be watching Origin. I'm like, that's a questionable play they're doing right there.
Yeah,
that's a questionable Baron they're trying to take while their base is getting taken.
Yeah, don't do that.
So you guys have difference. You guys have Shulka. Like I pronouncing. I know. I'm sorry.
What's the top
FC Shulka F4 or 04. And do you have that at 7, Brock? Do you want to talk about them a little bit, or just that?
I mean, I think they had some good pickups. I mean, they got Ignar and Odawame, but yeah,
Ignar is a very good pickup. I love Ignar.
Yeah, I mean, they have Upset too, but obviously Upset was with them last season, so obviously they have him. But yeah, I like the pickups that they had, but I don't really see them as a top line team.
I thought
that's where I have them where they're at.
Ignar Worlds picking Leona to take a game off SKT is like, as a Leona player, he's always gonna be my favorite for that. Brock at number 6. You have Misfit. Or sorry, not Brock.
Wait, I don't get to talk about Splice.
Oh, do you want to talk about Splice? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do. Okay, well, Splice. I mean, I think they're good. I think Vizicachi's good. I think Xerxes is probably not that good anymore. I think he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kabe's solid and Norscaren's solid, and I don't know anything about Humanoid. I know he's another one they've been talking about. Who's the Fnatic one? Nemesis?
Nemesis, yes.
They've been talking about him being so good, and he's the new unknown mid laner, and Humanoid's kind of been on the back burner, but I think there's some buzz about him, but I just don't think it's enough to... Yeah. I mean, they might be able to get playoffs, but I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, Europe is very good at grooming mid laners.
Yes, they are.
So, like, he could. I just always am nervous about new players coming in because, like, it's almost. I feel like in esports, it's a little different where you see a new player come into the team and it's just assumed they're going to be, like, Hall of Fame, like, all-star type players.
Yeah.
Where I feel like it's not the same in, like, regular sports where you're like, okay, there's some growing. The timeline is much shorter in esports where there's no room for growing pains and stuff, I feel like, where in other sports you can understand a year or two by a rookie by that if they struggle in the league trying to adapt, or in esports if you got to win right away.
Yeah, especially mid laners.
Mm-hmm.
Mid laners are looked at all the time. So if you don't do well, that's tough. That sits with you for a while.
Okay.
Not biased or anything.
Okay. Brian.
Do you want me to go again now? Again?
Yeah, because we have Splice at 6, so I feel like we've discussed enough. Explain this one.
Time to explain. All right, well, I have Splice at 6. Let's just go over their team real quick. Hold on.
You don't have Splice, you have Misfits at 6.
Misfits at 6. Y'all have Splice at 6. I don't know where I put the page that I was looking at.
Nice.
Here it is. Okay. So let's look at their team real quick. They have Soaz in the top. Solid. Maxlor, jungle.
Great.
Febiven mid, Hansama AD, and Gorilla at support. And that sounds like an amazing team on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But Soaz just got kicked off of Fnatic after splitting time with pretty much a rookie in Bwipo. So I would say he's not as good as Bwipo. I would say he's definitely not as good as Wonder. In a 1v1,
I know that one.
I know he's a great top laner, but Soaz has always played around teleport and tanks, and his Shin and his map control has been amazing, and he's a tank player. I think with the teleport, the teleport nerf, I think is going to really hurt his playstyle. I think Odoamne is a good top. I mean, Soaz is probably better than Odoamne. I'm going through my people above them right now if you can't tell what I'm doing. And I think Alfari is probably a better laner than Soaz. I think Soaz is a better team fighter. I think he's probably the best team fighting top laner, but I think the teleport nerf has kind of made him a kind of a relic of the past, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
Okay. You get where I'm coming from.
Yes. My only concern is that I know it's hard because I know you haven't watched as much as us weirdos who watch everything at the moment. Teleport so far has been just as relevant as before for professional play.
Of course.
Yeah, but the teleport nerf, I get what you're saying. And I don't know if it's much as teleport nerf. Can he play the bruisers and the carries?
I don't think he can. I think he can. Obviously, he's a professional.
Yeah,
but I don't think he can play it to the level
of Wonder
of the other players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I think Maxlor. Okay, what did you say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say I think a lot of Shin is gonna be played.
Probably because he's got an extra teleport.
Yeah.
So if they ban that, I mean, he's good, but I think he's
Scion.
cut in. We'll say he's at 66%
mm-hmm.
of what he could be because of the teleport. Okay, Maxlor, I think, is probably maybe not the weakest player on the team, but I think maybe the second weakest. No, never mind. I'd say Maxlor is the third best player. I think he's okay. I've never thought he is just. I know he's had his stints where he's just an extremely dominant jungler, but thinking back to last split where, what was it? Misfits went like they had one loss in the first half.
Yeah, and they finished 11-7.
Yeah, and I think he just kind of fell off a cliff. I don't really have much to say about him. I don't want to go do the whole thing because Brock's a memento. I don't know a ton about the junglers.
Mm-hmm.
Cold, I think, is trash, and he's on Origin, but we'll talk about that in a little. Maxlor, I think, is solid. Febvin, I think everyone is so hyped for the prodigal son to come back and be in EU and smash again like he did on Fnatic when he was a kid with no fear. But he went to NA, an inferior region. We've been proven at Rift Rivals and Worlds. It hurts to say. And he did terrible. They say he was over there smashing NA mids. I'm a CLG fan. He was over there smashing CLG and Golden Guardians and Optic. And hey,
he smashed Mickey.
Yeah, he smashed Mickey, who fled the country.
Insane.
I think Febvin is going to be a huge liability. I think extremely passive. I think the league has gotten way more aggressive. I don't think he's a good mid laner anymore. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's going to be a good professional mid laner.
You're bringing up good points.
I'm bringing up really good points, William, because I did my homework.
I'm starting to not like my pick.
I told you your pick is dumb.
No, well, I'm just to bring it up.
Okay, let's go down.
My style of league is what I love about SOAS and Forbidden. I've always been a passive player. I always been a strong team fighter, not a strong laner.
You picked your favorite team.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to think that's what it is. Like I look at them and I'm like, that is how League is supposed to be played because that is exactly how I play it. You play your tanks
at a platinum 1 at a highest point level.
Yeah, but like but I'm like, you got your tanks to do your team fighting. You do the CC. You have your control mage that's aggressive, but is not aggressive. I mean, but can hold his lane down. But then you have your ADC to carry you in the support.
Will plays League like World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, since I'm on my on my little monologue rant, let me keep going because I don't want this to be like an hour and a half. Okay, I have pulled up the first matchup for Misfits is Rogue.
Yep.
Whose AD carry is Hikyu. If you look at the stats between Hansama and Hikyu in EU LCS Summer, it looks like Hansama is incredible and so much better than him. He went 11-7, while Hikyu only went, 7-11, so reversed.
Mm-hmm.
But Hansama had 9 of those wins in the first half and has been just cold since. So I don't know. I think he's a Draven one trick. I don't think he's that good.
But
I think he's one of the reasons. I think he's worse. I think he's the 4th worst player. I think Febvin's probably the worst player on the team.
I think you. So you're saying that like Ignar was the reason they were winning their bot lane.
I believe so. I mean, you like Ignar. I think
Ignar.
Really good.
Again.
Really good support. He went to Korea. He got on a pretty crap team in Korea's standards.
Yeah.
So nothing really happened, but. He went from EU to Korea. That's an upgrade in every
BBQ,
sense of the
man.
word.
Don't be hating.
BBQ. Barbecue Olivers.
I love that team. Just name and logo alone. I love that team. I'm sad
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Okay, and so Hansama, I don't have much to say. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's going to compete with like a Reckless. I don't think he competes with Upset.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a top 3 AD carry anymore.
Got it.
I think Kabi's probably better than him. I think Attila's for sure better than him. He's probably 5th.
I do like Kabi. I do really like Kabi.
Yeah, I think Kabi is sneaky good. And then Gorilla, I think, is probably the best player on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of easy to say.
Yeah.
But I still think he's from Korea. He's only played in Korea, to my knowledge. I don't know if he's played in China at all, but he's only played in Asia. Hansama is from France. I don't know if he speaks Korean, so they may have some communication issues. Gorilla may speak great English. I'm not sure, but who knows? Gorilla has also been supporting Prey for pretty much his entire career.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they've been together their entire careers.
Yeah, so he's been supporting one person, and now he gets thrown into a new region in a foreign land with a new AD carry. I don't think he's going to be the Gorilla that we've seen in the past. and that is why I have them at a playoff position in 6th.
Okay, you made some very good points.
Thank you. I got flamed before this podcast.
He did. I flamed him because I have Misfits winning the whole thing.
Yes, you do.
Which
That's
I mean,
ballsy.
they could. They could.
100% could. They have the talent. I just don't think they have the synergy.
I have like this like deep feeling in me now. I'm like, this is Echo Fox. This is Brian's Echo Fox from last year.
Echo Fox. Yes, it is. And how did Echo Fox do last year?
Not great.
In Worlds?
Not great.
Not because of their top laner, that's for sure.
You know?
Their top laner last year.
Top laner had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Top laner had
He
quite
wasn't a little
reasons.
overhyped. Where is Huni this year? Sorry to go off.
Back in Korea, I think.
I thought he was in Clutch.
What? Is he in Clutch?
You're right. You're right.
I don't know.
Clutch and Echo Fox changed teams, but we'll talk about that on NA.
Yeah, I haven't made it that far yet. Too many games to watch.
All right, so you guys have that Shulka. Did you have anything to say about them, Brian? Like I think Brock covered it for me. Otomami,
Yeah.
I like him.
Otomami.
Otomami. I love Ignar. Ignar is one of my favorite. Ignar, Sword Art, Snowflower. Those are some of my favorite supports that are not like top. They're good names, but they're not like I would say like number one, like Mata.
Snowflower was super massive, right?
Yep. I loved watching Snowflower at Worlds and MSI. I thought he plays for a Korean team now. I just watched him today. Can't remember which one.
I saw that.
But I think it was KT. But anyway, yeah, those are some of my favorite supports that aren't like top ones. I think they all play very aggressively, and that's what I love. I love aggressive supports as Leona main.
I'll know one support, and that's Big. That's the best support out.
He is the best. Big boy.
Big boy.
Okay, so did you guys want to talk about top 4 then? Like,
yeah,
we can. If you want to explain why you have Origin in top 4, Brian, because then after that we have all the same. Top
4. Honestly, how you have Misfits because they're your favorite team. Mm-hmm. Origin, I just really like Nuke Duck. I like Deficio, so I didn't want to put them.
Got it. That makes sense.
That's
makes sense.
Makes sense. So
I don't know who Patrick is. I think Mithy's good, but probably not as good as he has been. Nuke Duck, I think is top 3 mid laner. Well, maybe top 2 now since.
Patrick is from H2K.
Oh.
That was depressing.
Wait, no. Oh, Sheriff then. That's Sheriff. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, that is Sheriff. Awesome. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because of all the memes.
That's why I have them at 4. I think Sheriff Mithy, Patrick Mithy, super good. Nuke Duck, top 2 mid laner. Cold is trash, and Alfari is solid.
I forgot about all the SpongeBob memes. No, this is Patrick. It's a great meme. Okay, so number 4. Me and Brock, we have Vitality at number 4. So I think Vitality is very good. Very impressive world showing. Way better than anyone thought. And they have Drizuke. They have Attila.
Jeez.
I'll translate.
Thank you. Thank you. Translate my Midwestern.
Say their top laner's name.
Oh no, there's a reason I skipped it.
That is actually
Cabuchard.
Shard.
Cabuchard.
CH makes an S sound.
Where's the U?
Cabochard.
There you go.
There we go. Stupid Midwestern.
Okay, I'll say the rest of their names for you. It's Cabuchard, Malgalai, just UK, Atilia, like you said, and I don't know how to say that last one.
How you could say it incorrectly. Jactrol.
Jactrol.
There you go. I think they're going to be pretty solid again. I don't know if they'll be... Well, it's a spring split. I don't think they'll be a favorite to win it, but their aggressiveness and just not care attitude when it came to beating RNG and beating Genji, I'm very much looking forward to see it. I think they are a dark horse contender for the spring split to win it, but I don't think they're a favorite, if that makes sense. Like, I won't be shocked if they win. I'll be a little shocked if they win it, but I'll be more surprised if they do if they miss playoffs than if they win it. If that's how I have them.
Mm. Yeah, Vitality is a great team. Vitality is a very good team. They're very strong, got good synergy, and they finished 4th place in the EULCS last season. But me putting them in 4th is a kind of biased because I don't like Jizuke. And it's not so much because of the player. Like, Jizuke is a mad, but he spams Zoe. And people who spam Zoe, I don't like that much. So this is a bit biased as to not putting him in 3rd, because I could have put him in 3rd, but I just chose 4th instead.
Okay. For our 3rd, me and Brian, we have Fnatic at 3rd. I think Fnatic is weaker than they are last year. Definitely, I think. I think not having Soaz and only having Bwipo tends to die a lot. like Bwipo is very good at carries, but he overextends and dies quite often, which can cause an issue right now when it's a solo lane meta at the moment. And if you're letting the other solo laners get ahead off of those mistakes and playing around those mistakes, you can snowball the game out of control very fast. Broxa still a good jungler. I know he had a weak final series, but he had great world outside that final series. So fantastic.
Beside the game that counted.
Besides the finals that counted, where he looked probably the worst he's looked in a long time. It's just Ning though. Ning is a god on IG. Nemesis, like we talked about earlier. Nemesis, new person, EU mid, grooming up, probably going to be amazing. But I still see it as a question mark, just because I don't buy into hype from like fresh rookies as much as everyone else seems to, I guess. I'm not sure. And then you have Reckless and Hill saying solid bot lane, probably best bot lane in EU. And yeah, so I have them 3rd because the other 2 teams I think are better, just by a little bit though. I think they're in their own echelon. These top 3 teams, I think they're all really good, and they're going to be competing for the championship. They're going to be beating each other up.
I think my 3 are.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can see it. So, who wants to talk G2? Because we all have G2 number 2. Who wants to bring the insight to G2? Because a lot happened with them.
I mean, Brock is the G2 fan.
Holy moly, did a lot happen to him. They signed Caps.
Yeah.
And that's what they needed to sign was Cap. Like, G2's team is actually insane. Like, Wonder, Yankos, Perks, and then you have Caps on top of that. The only issue I will have with, which is actually why I have Fnatic above G2, is because Caps is easily best mid laner.
Mm-hmm.
Probably out there aside from the obvious ones. But he's insane. But Caps is a very selfish mid laner. Where he locks in Vayne mid and hard carries the game because he's good. But
Vayne got buffed, man.
She did get buffed. But I think they're going to mold... Fnatic is going to mold Nemesis into a... They're not going to be putting him on Assassins, I don't believe. I think he's going to be obviously playing the Urgot meta and stuff like that. And I don't think Caps is going to shine in Urgot mid meta, Sandra meta, and stuff like that.
Galio.
Yeah, Galio. I think if you want Caps to shine, he needs to be on LeBlanc. He needs to be on all these other Akali, all these Assassins. And it's just not the metaphor right now.
Well, it's sort of.
Akali's also banned every game.
I was going to say, Akali and Aurelia are still banned almost every game of professional play. So if those two slip through, I can totally see that with Caps. I would put G2 number 1, but my only issue is I'm nervous about Perks ADC, personally. I see all this stuff about, it's going to be smooth, like such a smooth transition. Now they have Caps, they have Perks, it's totally fine. Perks plays ADC and solo queue all the time. It's his secondary role. It's the difference between solo queue and professional play for me is very, very significant, and I feel like
he's played professionally.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. Anyway,
thanks, Brian. But it's just that I feel like everyone is already crowning him as like a top. I've seen on Reddit a lot. He's a top 3 ADC in EU. How do you know that?
No.
He hasn't played has he? I don't believe so. He's played a professional game of ADC.
I don't know.
I don't know off the top of my head. If he has, it hasn't been often enough. But
hasn't been for a while.
Yeah, and
wasn't he flexed into the ADK role last season?
I mean, to play mages.
That doesn't count. You are right, but that doesn't count in my mind.
That's the other thing, though. He also can play mages bot lane, which I get, and that's fine. But he was really good at funnel playing Xayah, but he was getting every resource.
Yeah, funnel doesn't count.
If you're bad at right-clicking when you're fed AF, like, you're bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can play mages bot lane, which will be good for them, but if they just had caps, technically, he could do that too, if that's what they really wanted to do, and send some AD, Hjarnan, go play Heimer mid. Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Hjarnan, RIP to him. Well, career-wise.
Yeah, he's not even in LEC. He's the minor leagues now. But yeah, I think he'll bring some variety with the mages on bot lane. But I would like to see, before everyone's crowning him top 3, like I said, he could be top 3 for all I know. He's very good in solo queue with it. But I'd like to see him professional play. I'd like to see his Kai'Sa. I'd like to see his Xayah without funnel. I was gonna say Jhin, but Jin's not very meta right now. But like Caitlyn and stuff, like stuff that's very traditional ADC. Staple. Like I can see, it's Ezreal. I can see him popping off on Ezreal or Lucian because they're kind of a mix, you know. Like they're not mages per se, but they've seen time in mid lane because of their style. They have the dash in the blink, and they can kind of like I want to see Kai'Sa. And I want to see Caitlyn. And if I know it's probably working to Perks' benefit right now that crit ADCs aren't really meta at all. Mm-hmm. But if the meta, which crit ADCs usually always come back, Vayne, that could be a possible one with Vayne coming back. Vayne's not a crit ADC, but that was she's a more standard ADC, and. Mm-hmm. I want to see it when standard ADCs come back, which they inevitably will, because that always happens. I think he's going to struggle, personally. But, I mean, they still have second best team because Wonder's a monster, Jenko's a monster, Cap's a monster. Like they still have like a amazing team.
What's their support's name?
I skipped it for a reason, Brock.
Who is it?
I don't know. I can't even pronounce it.
Mickey X?
That's how I see it, and I don't want to say.
That's what it is.
Oh, it's
Mickey X.
It's actually Mickey X?
Yeah.
I did not. I literally was like, there's no way it's Mickey X.
Watch LEC one time, please.
Okay, I will tomorrow. But okay, let's wrap it up to the final preseason picks. I have Misfits. We talked about it earlier. They're my style league. I love it. I'm a little worried because of what Brian said, and that my style league is not relevant in Season 9, which also worries me for my solo queue. Brock, you talked about Fnatic already. About why you have them.
We talk about Brox's full name is definitely a reason to just pick Fnatic alone. Because his name is Mads Brock Peterson. Big fan of that.
It'd only be better if his name was Mads Brock Lesnar.
That'd be awesome.
Then he would have to be tested.
Look at the size of that lad.
PhD.
Do you want me to defend Vitality first?
Please defend. Okay. To wrap up our preseason picks, defend Vitality.
We get it. My last rant of the episode. Okay. Vitality first. I would say, with G2 and Fnatic being the obvious other choices for this, maybe Misfits if you're William. Maybe Origin if you're crazy, but I would say Fnatic and G2 are pretty much people you're gonna pick for first, or Misfits, whatever. I think that Fnatic is much weaker without Caps, and I think he took over that team from Reckless. And I know Reckless back in the day was the huge carry, but I think he's taken such a backseat role. Him stepping up will really show how good he is as a player, and I don't think they're gonna get first because of that. G2, I could see Perks being the leader of that team and then Baby Faker comes in and takes over the team and is the star, and I could see just locker room issues. You know what I mean? Like in the gaming house.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
You never thought about that. Some like heads butting, and that team could crumble. Who knows? Shot calling. I don't know how much of a shot caller Caps is. If he's one that just listens and just wrecks people, or if Perks is a shot caller, or who knows? I don't know who their voice is. Vitality had a very good World showing and has 4 of their members that went to Worlds, unlike most of these other teams that broke up a little bit. I mean, G2 didn't really break up. They kind of shifted around, but so I guess technically they have 4 members as well, but one is playing a different role.
Well, they don't have Wadid either, so they don't have their whole bot line.
I forgot what it. Yeah. Okay, so never mind. I lied. But Vitality got Mowgli for Kikis, was it, at the end? It was Gilius, then Kikis. Mowgli was a freak of freaks jungler who they had a terrible Worlds.
Got outplayed by
NA.
Svenskeren crushed him.
But he is a top 3 Korean jungler last season. I don't know in the jungle role if he was top 3, but his team made it to Worlds from Korea.
Yeah.
Traditionally best reason. So you'd think he would be good. Worst region in 2018. But traditionally, the best. I think Vitality has the most solid team, and they only changed one variable, and it was a very good player. So that's why I think they're going to win.
That's fair. You know what? You kind of sold me a little bit. Not to the sense where I would put Vitality number 1. You still have me very questioning my Misfits. I don't like that. But
that's what I'm here for.
But I like what you said because it's very similar to what I was saying on the LMS podcast, which I know you watched.
I did. I watched it twice.
0 views on YouTube.
Just back to back. Hey, don't drag ourselves. We're a growing podcast.
Growing. Hey, our LPL one's not that bad. But the LMS, I brought up the same points that you did though. I can bring it up right here. I picked Mad Team and J Team to actually succeed in the LMS because they're bringing everyone back with Worlds experience. Well, Mad Team is bringing everyone back with Worlds experience, and I think that's very important to have the exact same synergy because we're in the very similar meta to what Worlds was before. It's like, Preseason always changes up the jungle and everything changes and everything's new. It's kind of similar to Worlds last year.
War never changes.
But like
okay.
I laughed. I was like, it was more of a sigh than a laugh. But it's very similar meta, so I think that the teams that went to Worlds and got to experience that meta in the highest level of competitive, I think they're going to succeed more. So those are our preseason picks. We'll update. We'll do power rankings every week, like I plan on doing. So those will be updated every week. But that's what we have right now, and we can since we've already been on for 38 minutes. Let's start right away in predictions, I'd say. So let's pull up the LEC schedule for tomorrow at noon. Reasonable
11.
times. Reasonable.
11.
I'm like, shut up. It's noon
like
for
Korea.
me. Yeah, the Korea LMS. I've already gone full disclosure in the other podcast. I don't watch them live. There's no way I can watch them live. They all start at 3 to 4 a.m.
You can sleep when you're dead. Okay.
Yeah, I will literally die within the week if I stay up all night and go to work and work 10, 11
and they're
hours.
all week long.
Yeah, it's all week. It doesn't stop. So
okay, let's get into it.
Week
let's
1.
Not make this an hour
Week
long
1.
Deal.
Game 1. Fnatic versus SK Gaming.
SKT Gaming.
Wow, that was actually 2 letters that you messed up. Just an S and a K.
I struggled. Shut up. I have Fnatic winning by a lot. Just blowing them out. Again, you can see in the rankings, I think Fnatic's competing to win this season, and SK we have towards the bottom. It's all the analysis you need.
Yeah.
Also have Fnatic.
I also have Fnatic, but I'm actually excited for this game because I think Werlib versus Whippo, you'll see if he's just going to give his I don't want to analyze every single game, but I think you'll see if Bwipo can hold his own against a solid top laner. You have Pyrian versus an unknown mid laner.
That is
get to see that. I'm excited for that. And Crown Shot versus Reckless. So you get to see what these players are made of. See how SK may surprise us. May be exactly where we put them.
Mm-hmm. If SK surprises us, it will be through mid lane.
It will.
Mm-hmm. Game number 2 is Excel versus Splice. I said at the beginning of this podcast, I don't think Excel is very good. I get that they have 2 players that are known and the rest are kind of new, and they're not hyped new. So the fact that I think the league community hypes people too much that's coming in, and the fact that they're not hyped has me very worried. Mm-hmm. So I have Splice winning this one. It's nice not having to do series wise. I have series here, but I'll change that to games.
It feels great. Also have Splice.
Hey, I have Splice too.
Look at that. Brock, we have officially, me and Brock, after 30 games of predictions, are now 27-3.
Hey, after 2 games of predictions, I am 2-2 with y'all, so.
Nice, 2-0.
100%. 2-0, you know.
Game number 3, we have Schalke? I can never say
Schalke.
04. I'm just gonna call him 04.
Just say SO4.
SO4. There we go. Thank you. Versus Vitality. I know what Brian has, and I have as well. I have Vitality winning this game, even though it's gonna be close. I think this is gonna be the closest game so far of the entire first week.
Yeah. I think I'll just say because I know I have Vitality. Mm-hmm. I think if someone picks Schalke for this game, it's not a crazy pick. I think this is top 4 teams going at it.
Yep. Also have Vitality as well. This one's got a lot to do with Jizuke though.
Yeah.
Jizuke is a madman. And I think he's gonna just run over this poor mid laner.
Mm-hmm. Especially because they don't have Nuke Duck anymore.
Yep.
If they had Nuke Duck, it'd be a different story, but it's going to be a different adaptation of SO4. Thank you, Brian. Next, we have Rogue
versus... That's what they're called.
I know. But it makes it easier for me to pronounce. Okay. Game number 4, we got Misfits versus Rogue. Again, I have Misfits winning it all, so it should be very obvious what my first pick is. If they can't beat Rogue, I'm in a whole lot of trouble.
Time to change those picks up.
They're going to plummet at my power rankings. You guys, I'm assuming both also have Misfits?
You would assume right on that one.
You actually assumed wrong. I have Rogue coming in hot and taking down the overhyped Misfits.
There we go. That's bold prediction by Brian.
Number 1. Hiku and Wadid get it done.
I just want to inform anyone who is watching that Brian made a lot of bold predictions against Echo Fox last year that didn't always work out. He was right in the end, but his predictions were not right.
We ended up tying overall, right?
Yeah, we tied. You won the tiebreaker games.
Yeah, I did. I ended up winning last year.
You are the defending champion. He is the defending champion.
Analyst.
Listen to Brian. We tied, and then in tiebreaker games I went 0-4, so that's ended me. Last
2-2.
Last games of the first day, last game I should say, is G2 versus Origin. Again, I think Origin's a new team. They have a much higher ceiling than the other new teams. If there's a new team to break out, it will be Origin, in my opinion.
This is a new old team.
Yeah, but they're
so same with SK though.
Yeah, you get it. They weren't in the league last year. They're in the league this year.
Hey, SK has an EULCS title, so
I did not know that.
Yeah. 2014.
Yeah, like season 2, season 3.
Season 4.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway,
G2 is gonna. I think they're gonna crush this game though, because I see Caps popping off on his new team, and there's gonna be a non-stop G2 hype train, which kind of annoys me because I really don't like G2. But I will admit that there's gonna be a huge hype train after Caps pops off very big in this game.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree.
I think
we got Caps against Nuke Duck. Nuke Duck is good, but
Nuke Duck's good. Nuke Ducks is good, but I think Caps is better.
Caps is better.
Yeah, I have G2. I think this is a really tough draw for a first game for Origin.
Super tough.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Origin wins, I won't be surprised, but I also think that they just have too much talent on G2.
I will be surprised if Origin wins.
You want to see some unfortunate first games? Look at LCK. They got quite a few teams had some really unfortunate games.
All right, on to day 2, Saturday. I will be working today. God damn, I hate
G2 again.
G2 starts last game of day 1, first game of day 2. It's an SO4, and I think G2 is going to win this game as well, starting with back-to-back wins to start the season.
Yep, I think so too. I think this is a stomp.
God, looking good.
God dang it, Brock. Me and Brock, again, for the 3rd time, we do not talk about our picks before the podcast.
No.
This just happens this year. We're just in the same mental for the league.
Yep.
They just picked the higher seed.
It's partially true. Not all the time, though. So far, shut up. We have Rogue versus Excel coming up next, and this is gonna be a competitive game.
I think? Question mark.
They're more equal talent wise, and we will be able to. I think this is a good game to see the differences between these two teams, because right now you can say they're very similar, and that they're gonna be like the same team essentially, but
yeah.
This could be a big game for them, especially with Rogue and Excel are brand new teams, like completely brand new, and this would be good to beat the other one to get that market, of people looking for a new team, like a brand new team, or wanting to root for a new team. You beat the other new team on the first week, that gives you some bonus points. I feel like personally.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have Rogue. I didn't say that.
No, we were all waiting. Yep. Also have Rogue.
I also have Rogue.
There we go. We don't see. To be fair, week 1 is kind of hard to spice up until you know the chaos. Like the first week is always the hardest.
Kind of got to pick the team you definitely think is better because you don't know anything.
Exactly. It's the same with my football picks. The first week is the hardest to pick because you don't know anything that's actually going to happen this year.
Until it comes to NA.
Yeah, then we know everything.
And then you pick TSM. Honestly, you'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll see.
No, are you gonna keep the thing that you did last year where you showed like how our picks were going for every single league? You know what I'm trying to say?
Like this?
We showed like how many picks we were off. Yes, exactly that.
Do you want me to do this for every league?
I mean, at least for LCS and
okay, I could do that.
LEC.
I could do that.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks. I'll do it again now. I didn't know you enjoyed it.
Thanks and for King.
All right. We'll go with game number 8. We have 6, 7, 8. That's Splice versus Vitality. I have Vitality. Do I have Vitality? I gotta look at my picks actually. I believe I have Vitality. I do have Vitality. I was like, wait, because I really liked Splice last year. That's the thing. Splice played my style of games last year, so I still have a little bit. There's a space in my heart for them, but Vitality is just the flat out better team. And Splice lost some players. I don't think they built their. I think they made side grades and downgrades more so than the others.
Yeah. I think they're solid, but I got Vitality, obviously.
Yep, same.
Brock,
do you even make these picks? Do you just wait for William to do it and just say, yeah, same?
We've had to defend that like 3 times already.
Yep.
Well, I know. I just brought that from that podcast that I've been watching.
Game number 9 is Misfits versus SK Gaming. Misfits are going to win this one too, even though I know you have Rogue beating them. Do you have Misfits going 0-2, Brian? I want to know.
No, I have Misfits winning this game.
Okay, you can't. You're not bold enough for 2.
I think the sheer talent on Misfits is enough to beat SK.
Okay. Brock?
Obviously, I have Misfits.
We got 1 game left, Brock. Come on. And it's Origin versus Fnatic. And I have Fnatic. And you have Fnatic.
You know he has Fnatic.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
I think Fnatic's going to be strong. I think they're gonna come. I think feels bad for Origin.
I actually have Origin.
You have Origin winning. There you go, Brian.
Because I think they're gonna win through Nuke Duck. I mean, it all depends on how good whatever. Can't remember his name. Nemesis. It all depends on how good Nemesis is. But I'm betting on Nuke Duck being better, and I know Sheriff is good, so he can hold his own. Mithy's solid, even though he's been bad. I mean, Whippo and Alfari.
See, that's a week 1 thing. I cannot trust Mithy at all right now. I'm just thinking of him of TSM. He comes out, has a solid performance. He doesn't even have to win. I don't even think he could. Even it's against G2 and Fnatic. He just has to have a solid performance against them, and there's no like super questionable, like I said, calls. And I'll be back on board.
Yep.
I just want to point out that my Excel spreadsheet, for some reason, was very excited about you picking Origin, and instead of being 10 regular font and not bolded, it put it at 24 in bold for some reason.
It's because it's a bold prediction,
it's a very bold prediction. Google Sheets thinks so as well. And both me and Brock have Fnatic, which
now
puts,
it's in the middle too.
Oh, I gotta change that. Thank you. But
someone said that to Lars.
So that means all of our picks are done. Me and Brock, just like the LMS yesterday, gonna be the exact same by the end of week 1. So that puts us at 10, 20, 32, 38 picks. We are 35-3, the same.
Wow!
Without talking about a single pick before the podcast.
Yep.
And I already have. And I'm already 8-2.
Yeah, you already have 2 differences.
If it wasn't for the bold predictions, we would pretty much be the exact same.
Yeah, there was 2 bold predictions we both made in China. They both flat out lost badly. And
same here with Brian.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes bold predictions happen.
China, so they better win in EU.
KT lost today. That would have been a great bold prediction. Would have never guessed. Didn't pick it though. And we'll get more bold though. I think Brock as the season goes on. We got bold. I can never go bold week 1. You never go bold week 1.
We already know we're not going to have the same picks in NA.
Oh,
because there's a certain team I refuse to pick for.
Which one?
Yeah, it's one of the blue teams.
Oh, Cloud9.
Yeah.
The other one.
Can't stand Cloud9.
Dumb logo.
Mm-hmm.
A horse.
Might be a horse.
Team Liquid. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about CLG, honest.
Wait, CLG got relegated, didn't it?
Okay, let's wrap it up. We'll talk NA tomorrow or Monday. We'll talk NA Monday.
Yeah.
This is the last podcast of the week. Not really, if you count, unless you count Sunday as the beginning of the week. I never do, but
I do.
Okay, so then it's the last podcast of the week, and
I get to sleep.
Brock can sleep. He can finally sleep. I look forward to watching EU games, and we'll see you guys on Monday for our NA analysis. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.